All right, Trey, guess what? We're back. We are back.
We are live.
And another week in the history of kayak fishing. The kayak fishing story is back. We've been doing the yak offs, the kayak fishing story for the people that have been in listening, man. I'm sure they've learned something. What do you think?
I get a lot of messages for people saying that it's just stuff they never knew and just enjoy listening to it. I think the engagement on it's been really good. So
Yeah, and tonight,
speaking of the yak off, where are you at, Marty? How'd that go? I know I voted, but I didn't follow it up.
I was eliminated by 5 votes. Just think if I would have just gone out and said, "Hey, everybody, vote for me." I didn't do much of that. I invited a few people, but
So the 5 days that I forgot to vote probably mattered.
yeah, it did, and probably me too. But,
I'm to blame.
And my wife only voted, I think, a couple times. So
wow, Miss Hughes needs to step it up, dude.
So no. Anyway, it's going great. Oh, Joshua Booth's gonna be on. That's cool, Joshua. Man, he's cool.
Yes. Speaking of Josh, I know you're going to get into it right now, but Yak, we are here on Palm de Terre. It is the second seasoner. It's the second event of the season, and these guys are ready, man. It's raining. It's going to be a little bit chilly. Right. Josh has a great ability to be able to schedule tournaments. Tries to pick the worst weather possible. I think he's doing it just to make us better. He just makes us better anglers. I think his long-term goal is just to make us better. But also, he'll be on Lake Fork with the All-American here, I believe, in a couple of weeks. He can comment on that. But, Lake Fork to be able to catch some big ones with the All-American. So,
happy birthday to Josh today, huh? Joshua Booth?
It is his birthday.
Happy birthday, Joshua. That's cool. Jennifer
33, Muse, I think he said.
Jennifer Muse is on, too. We'll get all you guys on here. Well, we're going to start talking here about some stuff, but you guys are there, and then the following, I'm going to go to Lake Fork again for the All-American, and Josh and those guys, I don't know who it was, asked me somebody said something on one of the chats about how you going to react to that weather down there, Marty, and I said, well, I'm going to break out the Speedo because it's supposed to be nice. Get sunburned.
Stand up, you're wearing it right now, ain't you?
Oh, no. No, anyway, these weather patterns are, this morning I fished, I had gloves on, I was dressed for winter, and I still froze. It was 37 degrees get this, it was 37 degrees up here where I live, and bass were busting all over the place on shad. That's nuts. And we caught a few that way, and then they kind of disappeared when the wind came up, but it was a great day. So anyway, yeah, we're going to kind of go off a different track this week because the kite fishing story is not only about the anglers, but also those who have contributed to the story of where we are today. And of course, one of those is of course Dwayne Walley with the progression of an online. He'll describe it better, but an app that we use to record our catches, and that we can be in a lot of different places and still compete. Or just keep track of our fish, we're on there mostly for in a tournament standpoint of it, I guess. But this will be interesting, this one, and we're going to talk about the progression of where we started, and then Dwayne's story as well of kayak fishing. So, what do you think, Trey? You think it's going to be a good one?
I think it is.
Me too. And Dwayne's chomping at the bit. I know he's ready to talk. So we're going to bring him on now. Hey, we just want to let Dwayne know there is a 3-hour time limit on this podcast.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Let's bring him in.
Dwayne, just don't get him started, man, and he'll calm down a little bit. We can be out of here to where everybody wants to hear it. So don't get him started, Dwayne.
Yeah, we're gonna bring him in.
And yeah.
There he is. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I love the intro.
There you go. So Dwayne's back. He's with us. I thought you'd be wearing red. I really did. Or you have a Turniak shirt on.
Yeah, I got
going on. He's got the Turniak shirt. Yeah.
And I'm never going to let that happen. I'm sorry, guys. It just sometimes we're at the bed. Who knows?
I get it.
I see that deer back there, Dwayne. What's that deer you got back there?
Well, let me flip this up a little bit.
Oh,
There you go. What you got on his head? You hit him with the car?
I did. Man, I got them all in here. Let me show you these over here. Hold on. Let's do this. Look.
Okay.
Yeah.
wow. We got Jennifer Solberg's on here too tonight. We got a lot of
I
gals.
love to hunt, buddy. I love to hunt.
Nice. So, what was I gonna? How's Mrs. Turney X?
She's good. She's
Yeah.
good. We have been She's been working in the yard, in the garden, getting the backyard spruced up. I don't know if y'all follow her on some of her flowers and butterfly adventures she has, and she raises 2 or 3 different varieties of butterflies.
Really?
It's the damnedest thing. I thought I seen it all until she started going out there and taking. She goes out and gets milkweed, like little leaves of milkweed.
Yeah.
And on the bottom of the milkweed, you'll see little eggs, the little tiny eggs where the monarchs have come by. When the monarchs come down, the females will come by and they'll drop eggs on those leaves. And she'll go out and clip those leaves off and take them in and put them in she's got a little cage. It's an aerated cage. And she raises those eggs, and they turn into, of course, the larva, what do we want to call it? I don't know the exact name for it. But then she'll raise those things. They just eat and eat and eat. All they do is eat and poop, eat and poop. That's all they do. And she's constantly cutting milkweed, putting it in, and they're eating it and eating. And eventually they'll just go into their chrysalis. And
that's
she had
crazy.
20.
I thought my sister was the only person that did that, and she has them every like right now through like, and she says that she's saving them from the wasps because I guess
Yes.
wasps or whatever type of, maybe it's some type of wasp will actually kill the butterflies. So she's bringing in a ton of butterflies in her house, and I'm like, she became that old crazy butterfly lady. And I thought my sister was the only person that was. I think my sister and your wife need to like hook up. They will be like butterfly besties.
By
She
the way,
is.
go ahead.
Yeah, she is. She's eat up with it. I mean, she loves it. Now, this is the funny part. We had some in August last year. They went into their chrysalis. They went into the little chrysalis in August of last year. They're just now coming out this month. So they went all through winter in their chrysalis. We thought they were all dead.
Wow.
And now they're starting to come out. It's the swallowtails. So, yeah. Hey, by the way, Josh, happy birthday. You're on the list, bro. Happy birthday.
There you go. Yeah. Those of you listening, this is bonus butterfly coverage tonight. So
Next week, tune in for hummingbirds.
This is in tribute to Mrs. Turney X, who needs a little bit of time here tonight, airtime.
Yeah. She loves her flowers, her butterflies, and her garden. I'm gonna tell you guys, if I've got $30,000 worth of plants out in the backyard, or she does.
Yeah, those monarchs they migrate through here.
They do. Wow. Yeah. Well, this is they're supposed to be on their way, I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, she saw one the other day come by. She had just planted a couple of milkweeds like a week ago, and we've had some mild weather, and she planted a couple of them. Here comes one comes through and just starts dropping eggs. Wow. It's the darndest thing, but that's pretty awesome.
Jennifer Solberg says you can watch it on. There's a radar you can watch it. That'd be cool, Jennifer. You could share that link with me, and I can bring that up sometime here. Monarch flight is on radar. Also, what was I going to ask you here? Oh man. Oh, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors here, real quick, Trey and Dwayne. Turney X is one of our sponsors. Dwayne, did you know that?
I didn't know that. Yeah, I did.
We got KBF and we have Little Miami Outfitters. So these guys help support our little space here. And Dwayne, this has gone very well with learning about some of the patriarchs of this sport and how it evolved and what they've done to lay the foundation for it, But what we want to do tonight is, of course, you're going to tell your story, and we got some questions for you, of course. But let's go back. Well, first of all, let's tell people where you live.
So I'm from down in the South. I consider this the South. You'll say like South Carolina and all that, but this is the South. I'm 2 hours from the Gulf of Mexico. 2.5 hours.
Which
I'm just north of Jackson, Mississippi, in a little town called Madison, and Central Park, and a couple hours from about 3 hours from Bay Springs, or 3 hours from Memphis. So we can run to Memphis pretty quick. But right dead smack in the middle of the state. We've been here 32 years.
Wow.
We moved here from we met my wife in New Orleans, blind date. Met Mrs. Attorney on blind date. We got married like 6 or 7 months later, and we stayed there for about a year and decided it was time to get out of New Orleans. We were down in that metro area, and so we decided to get out of town as soon as we could, because I just didn't want to raise any kids down there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So we moved back.
You're cutting out just a little bit, Dwayne, every once in a while, just so you know.
All right. If I bring that in there, is that any better there?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we lived in New Orleans about a year, and decided that wasn't a place we wanted to raise our kids. Yeah. So we decided to move up this way. My mom's from up this way, so my sister's up this way as well. So, but yeah, so cool. We've been here 32 years. We raised our son. He's 29 this year. He's over in Huntsville, Alabama, and hopefully one of these days we can get over that way. That's where we want to head to.
Where's he at? Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, Gunnersville.
It's not Marty. It's not Huntsville. You got to say it like Dwayne just said it. It's Huntsville.
Huntsville.
I'm
going there
it's
soon.
One word. It's not two words. It's not Huntsville. It's Huntsville.
There you go. That's like Starkville. It's not Starkville. It's Starkville.
All I know is I still love y'all sweet tea. That's the thing I love the most. Y'all sweet tea. I may not be able to say everything else. I will drink the Southern drink.
It is good sweet tea down here. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and we had that discussion the other day on the YakAttack Awards about if you go north of Nebraska, you cannot find sweet tea in any restaurant. If you go south, you can't find unsweetened tea. Isn't that something? So I live right in the middle, and so you can kind of get both here. But if I go up north, like Wisconsin, I was in a restaurant one time with Tyler Cole, and I go, "Hey, you got any sweet tea?" We got sugar packets.
Ooh, doesn't make sweet tea.
Like what?
You don't drink the sweet tea down there. You chew it.
That's good. I
agree with that.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to water it down just a little bit. You have to put a little bit of unsweet in it just to knock it down, because it can get really, really sweet down here.
Well, when I moved to Nebraska from California, when I was 7, I just turned 17. They made sun tea in a big giant jar, and then we added sugar to it. But the sun would cook it, and it was good. It was good tea. Anyway, there you go. There's we had our butterfly segment. We've had our iced tea segment, and now Dwayne's going to tell us how he started kayak fishing. Let's talk about how you started kayak fishing first.
Well, I wrote down a few things here because I want to go back to the beginning. I started fishing. My mom and dad, they loved to camp like most people did. We all loved to camp. We go out and we fish off the banks, and I started fishing when I was around 3 or 4 years old. I mean, I remember some of the pictures that she showed me with my first rod and reel in my hand.
Yeah.
And, in the 90s, we call it in the 90s, which was like forever ago, right?
Yeah.
I used to bass fish. I had a Ranger, 18-foot Ranger, and I ran around chasing the Joneses, spending a bunch of money, fishing these tournaments. Mm-hmm. And it just got so dang expensive. And then along came my son, in 1996, he was born. And at that time, it was like, okay, family or fishing, and I just, we just opted to sell the boat because it was taking up a lot of room in the garage here.
Yeah.
And ended up selling it, and we raised our son. And I kind of got out of the fishing for a long time. So
Really?
from the mid 90s till about 20, I don't know, maybe around 2008, I kind of got back into it. Maybe 2010, I kind of got back into it with my dad's John boat and fished a little bit. No tournaments, just fun fishing.
Uh-huh.
And then around 2012, I started watching videos of these kayak fishermen. And I said, I need to try that. That looks like fun. And I remember my first kayak I got in, it was like a 10-foot, a 10-8 or something from sit inside, no matter, one of those small ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got in one of those, buddy of mine let me borrow it, and I went out fishing. I got inside that thing, and I caught my first bass, and I was hooked. I mean, I was on. It was done,
Oh.
Of course, I couldn't get out of the kayak because at that time I'm the same size as I am now. So I kind of had to get up on shore, and it was tough. I mean, it had a little small hole.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But it was like the dangest thing I've ever done. I mean, I caught them many different ways, but never right there on top, right on the edge of the water. And so that's when I kind of got into. You remember Bobby Clark from over in? You ever meet Bobby from Wilderness Systems? He was kind of their manager at one time.
A long time ago.
So Bobby's from Mississippi State University, and we've kind of had that connection in Mississippi. And when I got my first kayak, it was a Wilderness System 5135. And soon after that, he contacted me and said, "Hey, man, you want to be on our pro staff with Wilderness Systems?" And I said, "Well, what does that entail?" And he said, "Well, you're just promoting the brand and, letting people, taking people out for demos and this, that, and other." And, I was all for it, and it was cool. Let's do it. The more I could show, the better. And so 2012, 2013, 2014, I was for like 8 years. I actually became a manager I was a pro staff manager for the South region.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was over Mississippi, Alabama, Texas. Texas was huge. We had tons of people in Texas. Like we had 9 guys in Texas. And even up into Arkansas, Jeff Malott, those guys, they were on it.
Yeah.
And we were, it was booming back then, in the 13, 14, 15 range.
Yeah.
But I did that for quite a while, and it just got to the point where these new guys were coming in. They had newer ideas, and I just decided that it was time for me to move out because I couldn't give 100% to the kayak, to Wilderness.
Uh-huh.
And it was time to let these new guys come in, and I just kind of bowed out and said, I'm going to stay fishing and all this, but I backed away from it. But we were out fishing, so let's go back a little bit to around 2013-ish. When I got into the kayak fishing scene, me and a buddy of mine, we were fishing a local lake over here and catching some just big bass. It was like every day we go out there, sneak out and go fishing and have us a blast. And we were always talking about, I always talked about becoming an entrepreneur of some sort. I work for the man. I work for a corporation. I've been doing maintenance, electrical work for 33 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always tried to find like that one thing that I could do, you know what I'm saying, to supplement income and just, something different. And we were out fishing, and we fished, for 2 or 3 months. And we started talking about how would, I don't think we didn't tournament fish back then. We just fun fished, right?
Yeah.
But then we wanted to get into tournament fishing, and I don't think there was a whole lot out there other than just taking photos and bringing them in, letting a computer, put them in a computer and the old school way we call it with the SD cards and all that.
Hold it right there. You're on that.
All right. Bring one out.
What is that? What is it, Dwayne? What is it?
He already had it ready. He's been practicing
Open it
all
up.
day.
I want to see it.
I got the magic rag.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Better hang on to that one.
That's
a Kodak. Look at that.
That was like the camera. And
man.
And then but these didn't have. Oh yeah, it did. Here it is. So you're back to your SD card story. There it is.
Yeah.
And you put them in a little plastic bag, and you turn them.
Bag. Put your name on it and turn them in. That's right. That's
We're gonna
right.
go. We're gonna go back further than that here in a little bit after you tell your story. Go ahead.
Okay.
So you're
So
doing,
anyway, we were kicking around this idea, and behold, we just, I don't know what it was. We talked about tournament fishing. We talked about ideas. We talked about this, talked about that. And that's when kind of the evolution of the Tourney X was born, so to speak, at that point. I went out and found a domain name. I wanted something to do with tournaments, tournament this, tournament that. We went with Tournament X and Tourney X for short. I went out and found that in my background, my background is in web designs. I did web designs for 15, 18 years just on the side as a hustle, And so buying domains was nothing for me. Having place to host websites was nothing. And so, okay. So, anyway,
go ahead.
Go ahead. That Steve is crazy. But anyway, we were just picking around the idea, and when I looked, TourneyX.com was available, so I bought it that day.
Yeah.
Now, I had no intentions of what I was going to do with it, but I bought it.
Yeah.
And so we sat in a coffee shop. Me and another buddy of mine. I found him online through Indeed.com or somewhere. He was a computer programmer that wrote code, and he lived here in town.
Really?
And I said, yeah. And I said, would you mind, meeting me at the coffee shop, talk some ideas? And that was when it was born, man. We started writing some code within the next week or two.
Wow.
And so it's just crazy how, you talk about evolution. You start from, 3-year-old kid going through the bass boating industry, leaving that, coming into the kayak industry, and coming to where we are now, going from weighing the fish to now where, catching them and photographing them and releasing them. And I had a boater call me today, a bass boat guy call me today. It's a funny thing. He said, hey man, he says, I'm interested in starting a club. I got about 10 guys that we fish out of bass boats. And he said, we're killing these fish. I mean, they called me up, said, we're killing these fish. And they said, I want to do something different now. And I used your app, he's used it before. And he said, I'd love to become a director and start getting these guys acclimated into the CPR world. And so we're making a difference, whether we know it or not. The bass boat guys are looking at us.
So is there a way, so with that, and then we could go down a whole rabbit hole with this. So if, let's say, bass, and I'm sure that's not the first time you've had that conversation, would it then go to inches, or do you feel like there's a way you can do pounds other than just accumulating the 2 pounds?
So with Tourney X right now, we can do pounds or length. We can do both. We can do weight or length. I mean,
but you're just basing the weight off the length, though, right?
No.
Oh,
no,
okay.
They'll have to weigh them. No, the anglers will actually weigh them on the boat. They'll actually hook on the scale and weigh it, and then they'll take a photo of the scale.
Yeah.
And then they'll just type that number in to Tourney X out, just like you do with the inches. They'll put like 2.36 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Dwayne, you're still cutting out, like every 10, 15 seconds you'll cut out. If you start talking faster, it cuts out, and when you slow down, it doesn't do it. I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna switch audio to something else real quick.
Okay, well, and we're gonna go back to we're gonna go from there back to the beginning, okay, of how we recorded catches, and then we're gonna mix it with that.
Let's do that.
So here you go.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Yep. We'll see if it cuts out. I'll remind you again if it does, but just
I just switched over to a different mic. We'll see what happens.
Okay. So here I am in Binkelman, Nebraska. I started in 1997, 98 in that range kayak fishing, and I was in the same kind of kayak, sit inside like you. Legs fell asleep inside of it. Enjoyed the tug, and about 6 years later, I got the wild idea of, hey, maybe I'll get some guys together and maybe we'll have a tournament. I had never seen a kayak. I just knew they were out there. So I just put it out there on a forum. By the way, we used forums back then, you guys, instead of the social media we do today. And I had some answers, and they said, yeah, let's have a little tournament. So I had like 10 people show up. We had 12 in the tournament. 2 were my kids. and I got some trophies and stuff, and didn't really have much. There wasn't much for sponsorship back then, you know. But so that first one. But here's what we did. You know, we made a checklist. There were 9 species of fish in the lake, Rock Creek, where I started kayak fishing, and I made a list of fish on a little piece of card or paper, and there was 3 dots after it, 3 circles, and then if you caught the fish, it was honor system. I put a pencil, the list in a baggie, a clear baggie, and you went out and you tried to catch 3 of each one, and you got points. Like for the easy one was like a bluegill, so you got like 10 points, and a walleye was the hardest. It was like I'm sorry, a bluegill was like 1 point, but a walleye was like 10 points, you know. So it was a progression. So we went on the honor system for this tournament, and we had an adult and youth division in it, and then you know, that's all I knew to do. I didn't know to weigh them. I didn't know to take a picture. We did. Of course, this is right before the digital camera comes out that we can actually afford. Okay. So then after the next one we did another one there. And the next one we did, we actually, if you can see in the promo here, I'll bring it up here. We actually use tape measures to record our catches. And it didn't matter if the mouth was open or whatever. Well, then guys are like, well, here's doing that now. So, and then I'm going to kind of fast forward this. Then we went to the golden rule, which you could not see in the picture. You couldn't see the measurement because of the glare. And that's when we started using little digital cameras to take the pictures, and guys would just bring them in. We write it down, you know. And I didn't know anything was going on anywhere in the world. This is just what we did. And on the forums, our local forum, we had online contests, and that's where you have a piece of paper with a code, and we put them in baggies, and then we would take a picture, and then it was about catching species. So CJ and I, my son, we traveled 7 days in Nebraska, 1,200 miles, and caught 15 species each. And he won the state contest, and I got like third in the adult division. But that was our contest back then. It was by species, not by bass. And that's where, when we started, then I had a guy from Heroes in the Water contact me. He says, hey, would you help us like raise some money? And I said, yeah. So we brought it to Lincoln, but we made it an online species contest because that's all I knew. I didn't know there was bass tournaments out there at the time. I was secluded in western Nebraska. So then we progressed to the camera still, and they would turn in their inches that way. And then, of course, the first TOC in Texas had where you had the SD card and you turned it in and you waited in line forever to get your results, you know. And so if you could take us from that, because that's the progression, right? Am I right, Dwayne? Or what was your progression?
My progression through this was we had an idea, as I said a while ago. We built Tourney X. But if you remember, you know, the Godfather, Chad Hoover,
yeah,
he had his own thing going on. You remember back in the day when he was doing tournaments on a forum? He said
on a forum. You win a kayak. Yeah. Right.
Well, his forum got hacked. His forum got hacked in a certain way. He had called me. I had met Luther somehow or another, did something for Luther, and then so Chad called me and said, "Man, can you help me with my forum?" Anyway, we did some work. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I met Chad.
Sure.
We went through that progression of where I was in the middle of building, the app, which I didn't really say to anybody because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just messing around, right?
Yeah.
And he needed some help, and so we started doing that. And then I think something came out where, he was doing, like I said, on a forum, and then he was doing tournaments there. That kind of got messed up because I know Brad Case was using it. Anyway, long story short, that's when everything kind of flipped, and Chad started using Tourney X. He started promoting it for us, and that was around 2014, 2015, I think it was. So our first event was on the I just drew a blank. Kentucky Lake in 2015, March 2015, March 15th, I think it was. And that was our first event where we progressed from. Now, I don't think I ever really fished a tournament using an SD card. I don't think I ever did.
Okay.
Okay.
I did.
I went straight from bass fishing to what we're doing now. Okay.
Yeah.
But I kind of skipped it. However, that first tournament we did at Kentucky Lake, we used SD cards as a side on the side.
Right.
Because we were testing this system, but we were doing it old school, which is with an SD card.
Yeah.
Gosh, I met so many people there at that tournament. It's just crazy. I met AJ McCorder first time.
Yeah.
Was where I met him.
Was that the national one? Was that the national one?
It was an open. Yeah. It was. It's on Tourney X back in the archives. But I don't think it was a national event. I think it was just a 2-day open.
Okay.
We ran Tourney X 2 independent days, and then we just added everything together because we didn't worry about the ties. If it was a tie, we just broke it somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But my progression is that I never really used an SD card that I remember. I remember they were being used.
Yeah.
But I ran tournaments with an SD card because we didn't do it here in the Mississippi area, and I wasn't traveling back then.
Yeah.
I didn't start traveling until Tourney X kind of evolved. I could travel to these tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then after that, it kind of took off. We started growing leaps and bounds. I mean, we went from a few hundred to a few thousand to 10,000 to 30,000 to just skyrocketed over the years.
Yeah.
So,
wow. So when you first developed it though, I don't even know. I just know that what we did here, and that was that we recorded them with the SD cards. We recorded them like on Facebook was out then, and we were like recording them in like albums on Facebook, the leaders and stuff. And then what were guys around you doing that you saw that how can I make this more efficient? What did you see before you initiated Tourney X?
The only thing I remember back in the day is that there was no place to carry the fish in a well for a bass boat. That's what helped me evolve Tourney X. Okay. It wasn't, that's what I said before. It wasn't because I was fishing a tournament with an SD card. I didn't. It was that there are tournaments that were being held and they needed someone to digitally have it done.
Yeah.
And so when we were Tourney X, there was no app really. It was all web-based. We just did a completely web-based, responsive design style. When you open it up on your phone, you go to tourneyx.com and log in. And then you would take your photos and submit them that way.
Yeah.
But like I said, I like that whole process you went through. You know what I'm saying? When you went through the whole SD card thing and all that, I just passed. I never really did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we were out fishing, and we there was a problem, and we needed a solution for it. And the solution was that we streamline it to where you catch the fish, you photograph the fish, and submit the fish, right, and put the fish back in the water, and not have to worry with SD cards and things like that. And that was where that kind of evolved through Tourney X.
Yeah. So, now, and Ray Scott is the one who changed the sport forever, from guys bringing in stringers of fish and the catch and kill concept, and maybe eat them afterwards after the tournament, and then to catch and release them, the Bassmaster. And then for us, when people say, "What do you do with your fish?" we release them. Well, why do you do that? How can you keep track? And so we have to explain it. And then they when I show your app to somebody, they're like, "Oh my gosh, that's cool," Wow, and that's cool. So what you did is you made us even more efficient than ever before by your app, and what a great thing that's happened to the industry.
We went through problems as everybody does, growing pains, programming, code hiccups. We've done it all. We've seen it all. But just like me at work, fix things at work. That's what my job is. When things break, I fix them.
Yeah. And
I'm really hard on my programmers. I hope they think they are because they're in India, but I'm real hard on them because I don't like to fail. I don't.
Yeah.
I keep my nose to the grindstone. I keep pushing forward. I find if I have a blip or if I have an issue, I'll let you guys know I have an issue, and we're on it trying to fix it for for the next what I'm saying, just trying to keep that going. So
yeah. And I'm going to say this, Dwayne, I have you on speed dial, you know that. But
I hope everybody has me on speed dial. I want you to have me on speed dial.
Yeah, I've had issues with stuff that's happened. Most of it was my fault, but at the same time, when I called you, you would either if I didn't get a hold of you, you would call me within minutes back, and always let me know, hey, we're taking care of it, we're on it. But at the same time, I was always giving you the alarm, hey, Dwayne, this is going on, and you would take care of it, and you always have. So I just want to say, from all the angles, we do appreciate that. How you are a customer service guru at what you do and trying to resolve things.
But I don't consider myself. Here's what I consider myself as. I'm a fisherman, just like you guys are.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be I wouldn't want to be in your position. And if I were in your position, I'll make sure that I take care of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the one that you guys trust every day in, day out to make sure things are working. And I don't want y'all to leave y'all hanging. You don't know how much it bothers me when something happens. She says, Dwayne, you go into a shutdown mode. And I do, because I'm always trying to figure out how I can fix it at that point in time. And the problem is I don't like code. I don't write code. Somebody else does. I have the kind of the vision for it, but I don't like the code. And it just burns me up when I have to wait, you know what I'm saying, to get my developers, programmers to get on it that evening or whatever. I mean, Josh Booth is a living example. He calls me, this is not working. Or you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Josh, we'll get through it today. I'll get somebody on it tonight. And you know what I'm saying? And we'll get it done by the next day.
Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. But it has progressed us to a point where we have become way more efficient. Now, don't get me wrong, like our league nights, no cell phone reception. We do the paper, we write them down, we turn in our cameras at the end, because it's a 2-3 hour. You're probably not going to get a lot of weeknight leagues in that, but you are going to get a lot of other tournaments. How many? Now, I want to make a point here in a second, but how many users do you think you have right now?
I'm looking at 108,000. We're right at. Oh, sorry. Hang on. I just looked at it. We're 104,900 and some names. Right at 105,000 users.
Well, here's the deal. If you can get Christine Fisher's followers to join Tourney X, you'll have 1 million. There you go, right there. Get her to market it for you.
So I got a question, maybe a little bit off the cuff here. Let's say you do get to that. Let's say you do get to that million. and I'm sure you've already had people come to you now, and maybe this is a conversation for that. But people wanting to come and buy this from you. How hard? How? Are you dead set on keeping this, or are you willing to sell it for a price? Like we want you here because of how you just said you're here for the fishermen, right? And you look at all these companies that get big. Tourney X could really be. You don't have a lot of competitors out there. There's only one that I know of, and I feel like Tourney X outshines the rest of them for what that little they are. But but you have to be prepared for that conversation, because as big as you're getting, that's going to come.
There have been people call me, and we've had the conversations, and I to be honest with all of you and everybody watching, I'm not ready yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ready to make that decision because I don't think that whoever that person or company might be is going to be able to take this baby that we've built and nurture it like I do. They're just, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think they're going to nurture the people and the anglers. You guys don't understand. You're not only my friends, you're my customers. You're my you're everything. People say, I tell you what, I stopped and did something and the phone was ringing, and I stopped at one of these auto parts store and the phone was ringing, and I'm sitting there checking out, and there was a guy walking, two guys behind the counter. Just wait, I'll call back. I wanted to slap him because the other guy standing right there, he could answer the phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not how you do business. If your phone's ringing, pick the phone up and answer. Even if you got to pick it up while I'm standing there,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just pick it up and say, "Hang on, just a second. Let me get this guy checked out, and I'll see what you need." Don't wait. I mean, because if you can help one person one problem, he's going to go tell 10 more that, man, this guy did a super job. He stopped what he was doing to help me out.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people will say that, and I can attest to that because I didn't even know you, Dwayne, and I had just some simple random question about Attorney X, and I don't know how I found your phone number. I don't know who gave it to me, but I called your number, and you were traveling to like Florida or something. You were going somewhere.
Oh, it was in Tulsa. It was in Tulsa. I was coming back from Tulsa. Either I was Tulsa, or we were either it was Tulsa, or me and my wife going to get her car up in Lexington, Kentucky, but I can't remember
That's what it was, Lexington, yeah.
But
so just that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So you and I just met. We just met recently at the.
We launched together, I think.
Yes, we did. It was me, you, Steve. Who else was there?
Yeah. Christian Blaine. Christian Blaine was there. I think a couple guys from Nebraska were there.
I'm trying to think of what the guys from Nebraska is. I just drew a blank.
From where? What event?
250.
Ozarks. Yeah, the 250.
Ozarks. There's a lot of guys from Nebraska down there. I met Dwayne. Yeah. I met Dwayne. Remember where we met Dwayne? I can tell you.
Was it one of KBFs?
It was the Caddo Lake.
Oh, is that where we met?
Yep.
I thought we met before then, but I remember fishing with you that day.
Yeah. I think that's where we met. Water. I'm pretty sure that's where we met. I might have seen you before that, but that's where we met and talked. And that was
he left me. Trey, he left me. I looked up, he's gone. He's like, there he goes.
This sounds like a Marty move. He's gone, just pedaling away, right?
I was throwing an eco that day. I was throwing an eco rig.
The only one person I can know that can cover what he can cover water. He can cover water with a Nico like another person does with a damn I don't know what spinnerbait, crankbait.
He was rolling, man. I looked up. He was
Nico. Just swims a Nico.
I'm not a fun person to fish with because I go so fast. And like I have a client tomorrow, and he actually messaged me tonight, and he said, "Hey, my rudder's broken. I got a paddle. Please be patient with me tomorrow." So I can't
stand that. So I invited a buddy to fish with me at Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah.
And he comes over there, dude. I'm like, bro, slow down. Like he hit every pocket before I had a chance. I mean, he just burned through them. I mean, this dude did not miss a piece. He didn't miss a rock in this whole creek arm. And I'm like, bro, slow down. Pick your little secondary little thing and you stay there. This dude was zoom, 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 zoom. I'm in an autopilot and I can't go that fast, but I'm going. And this dude, he already did 3 laps around me. And I'm like, come on, man. And I'm going to put him, Noah Witten, man. He is like a NASCAR driver out there.
And hey, Dwayne, we need to have a contest. We have a contest of, and you video it, and it's like rodeo, like, and they have to go 8 seconds, right, on to ride the horse or whatever, or bull. Yeah. I can measure, I can catch a bass by the time I lip it, okay? Put it on the board and take the picture, have it back in the water in less than 8 seconds.
Dang. Nobody can see that.
Okay, and here, Joshua Booth is on here. Joshua, if you can make a comment, Joshua knows this. He won in a tournament, I think it was Lake of the Pines. I turned in 2 different fish in the same minute.
He called you, didn't he? How'd you do that?
He thought I had the same fish. He thought I had the same fish there for a minute, but it was actually 2 different fish. And I told him, that's what I said. I can do that in 8 seconds with your app. See, with your app, I can do it that quick. Boom, 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 and it's done. And then have it submitted.
I can verify Marty.
Dwayne has more power than Dwayne has literally everybody's secret fishing spot. Like he knows that was his whole diabolical plan from the beginning. He's like,
so honestly, I will sit here and tell you that I do not look at locations. It's crazy. People think I probably do, but I don't have time.
Yeah, you would think that. Like it would be like
even if I could-
it's like so much other shit. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. Now,
Look, man,
I do want to make a point here. If you look at the board there, you notice that the anglers are in alphabetical order, right? You can see it.
right.
Now,
Yeah.
if you look at your app, you guys, I used to think that was rankings, but it's not. It's by when they enrolled in the Tourney X.
Yeah.
So
We need to do one or the other and get them the same. So I just don't know. I asked
And
him
you know that Greg DePalma story. So I fished the Bassmaster Championship, and when I was in prison, I had a Bassmaster magazine with Greg DePalma on it, and I used to really just read that story, how he sold his construction company. I've told this story before. Well, when I signed up for the Bassmaster Championship, it had me at like 48 and Greg DePalma at like 49. So I was taking pictures of it, sending it to my friends, like, yeah, bro, I outranked yada, yada, yada. Well, after the first day, he's like 0 and I'm still 0, but I'm still above him. And then the second day, he's at 0 and I'm at like 35. I'm like 35 inches. And I'm like, yes, I beat Greg DePalma. Well, I didn't really beat him, but he never signed up. But I still beat Greg DePalma.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? At the Bassmaster Kayak Championship. So it's like that GDP if you hear this.
Well,
so,
like on mine, it was alphabetical order, and it was Hughes, Iaconelli. And I was like, oh, man, I took a screenshot of it. And I can show somebody, hey, I fished with Mike Iaconelli, man.
It's funny. It's funny how excited, and I'll take you back. So let's go back. You're back. It's funny how the people that are on Tourney X now,
yeah,
which are a lot of my people that I've looked up to, those type of people, your Iaconellis and things like that. And now they're on there. And now what's so funny is, though, Marty, is that I can walk up to Iaconelli right now and have a conversation with him, and it's just like you're walking to a friend of yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's how did it come to be that way, man? I mean, I know it's the industry, and I know it's what we do, and it's just become the norm now. But an
example of that.
Never thought stuff like that would happen.
Yeah, you bet. Like for instance, at the Classic Expo, I went up to talk to him. He says, "Oh yeah, I remember Susquehanna," and then we ended up talking for an hour at his booth,
crazy.
And his wife and everything. And we were talking about the kid thing and all that, and he's a people person, but you know what he said to me? He told me, the kayak anglers need a little more respect, and I try to tell guys that, and not that there's not, he just says that, you got the kayak anglers are good, they're good at what they do, but at the same time though, those elite guys are really good too. So he wants to give us credit for that, and
we appreciate that by all means. But it's getting. I mean, how Lake Fork turned out during the Classic with you guys, and the amount of fish that were caught. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Out of a kayak, because we have way less ground we can cover, and so it just. What you looking for, Marty?
I'm looking up a name while you're talking.
Oh, okay.
You're going. It's all good.
Yeah,
okay. I'm logging in.
So I don't want you to give away your goods.
You're good. You're good.
So, yeah, I looked the other day. 1.8 million waypoints fish that were submitted.
Wow. 1.8 million waypoints.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. 11 years, man. I look back and I'm like, I can't believe it's been that long.
So, dun. We're going to do a Dwayne Walley. So this is a Dwayne Walley Tourney X highlight. Dwayne Walley has 24 first place finishes on Tourney X.
No, I do not. Those are all jokes. Let me go delete all that real quick.
80 top 10s.
No.
Biggest bass 23 and a quarter. And his biggest fish overall, 29.50. And that was a redfish. So are you saying that's not right, Dwayne?
No, those numbers are not right because I'm always testing code in there, so I'm always just sticking in some random stuff. However, let me just say
your doctor of your Tourney X first place finishes, Dwayne.
Yeah, I can do that.
And he was graduated in 1984, class of 1984.
Yes, I'm an old man.
There you go.
What you doing,
Well,
sir?
I thought 24 first place finishes. I was like, dang, Dwayne's doing it.
Okay, so
I'm
we're
just
gonna,
going to continue to think
we're,
that.
we're gonna
Dwayne got
solve-
24 top.
we're trying to solve a problem here now. Tanya
Sweet.
says that she says she can't see her profile picture, but that's because she has to be a member for that, though, doesn't she?
No.
Oh, she sees
No,
it.
but what she needs to do, listen, I know this problem. What she needs to do is when she sets her profile picture, she needs to go down below and accept that profile picture. You not only just need to change it, you need to apply it. It'll have a box underneath. You need to apply that picture.
Okay.
She says she sees it. I'm what? See it?
She says she sees it now. All right.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go to all right, Dwayne, I want to know something here. I want to, because who has the most inches?
Marty Hughes.
You already knew that. Dwayne, don't do that. Let's say somebody else.
Look at that, 33,000 inches. Are you kidding me? I don't think anybody's got any more than that.
You can't ask a question you already know the answer to, Marty.
I did not know the answer to that.
No.
But here, Trey, I want to tell you something, though. I got 3 years of fish that were not judged all the way because of that, just that catch all you can.
Yeah,
the catch for the year, you know. It's over 100,000, I guarantee it.
I bet you I got the most fish with the less inches.
Yeah. What's that, Dwayne?
Yeah, if they don't get judged, they don't get put on that
right
total inch thing.
Right.
And I feel bad for that because I haven't judged.
Well, it's all right. You're not going to judge. You're not going to judge 30,000 fish. That's too much. That's too much. But you guys can see what it does. It does your total tournaments, your total length, your average length, your finishes, your all-time tournaments. It's kind of fun to go back and check because there's a lot of data there that you can look at and see. And then you got your profile picture. And then you can actually put
There's a lot of things that we do. What we want to do, what I'd like to do, is take some of that data right there and put it out where you can look compared to other people, where you can just get a list, pull a sheet up and say, okay, who has the most? And it could be skewed, though. The problem is that whether you don't know whether it's a bass or a brim or walleye,
right? Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it's all length.
But what's the smallest bass that you have on Tourney X submitted?
Me?
Yeah, not you personally, like all time, smallest bass on Tourney X.
I don't know.
Okay, what about the biggest? I'm going to set the smallest. Can I do that and you'll make a thing about it? You'll be like Trey Dawson.
I'm going to go delete all my stuff, Marty.
You what?
I'm going to delete all my stuff right now. It's going to be like 0.
Okay, all right. Now,
my largest bass has been 24 3/4. That is my largest bass, but it was not put on Tourney X.
But is there a way to have like the top 100 all time or like score?
There he is, which is really what to do at some point, and that way we could have internal pages that people can go to, and that'll change, as people set their fish. Yeah. Honestly, Marty, I've got right now on my plate. I'll be honest with you. For the future of Tourney X, I've got 3 features I'm trying to get done by June or July. Well, July or August, and those are we're going to do an internal membership system in Tourney X. So if your Kayak Jack wants to do a membership with the people, you'll have your own setup where you can join your group. See what I'm saying?
Oh,
and that way you can, and it won't be a Tourney X membership. It'll be a organization like KMO or Moyak or whatever. Josh would go into his settings, into his dashboard, and it'll say membership. When he clicks it, it'll show a list of anglers that have paid him to be on their membership. So that way he can manage them in there, and we're going to do some things like that. That way he doesn't have to worry about doing it elsewhere.
Now, is that like the membership for their club? You mean they pay there?
For their club, right.
And then
we've had that request.
Could you here's something, because could you do this, or because they're still going to pay the $650 to you though, right?
Yeah.
As far as the platform goes,
not on the membership though. That's just
they'll
still do that
Yeah, they do their own
The
membership.
membership will be like if he does a $30 membership a year,
Yeah,
you'll have a tab in there where they'll just go into the
yeah,
website and click
yeah,
join, and
yeah.
they'll just join his membership and pay it in there. And that
Sure.
isn't do any like on his own website. He can just run it on Tourney X.
I got
And then we'll keep that list for him. Maybe we'll do something cool where we can put, an icon by their name if they're fishing, if they're a member or non-member, things like that or something.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure that part out. But feature number 1 is a membership. Feature number 2 is Angler of the Year. So we're looking at doing an Angler of the Year system in Tourney X where the director can go in and set his top number, 300 points, a decrement, and then drop an event or 2 or whatever he wants to drop.
Yeah.
And then it'll spit out this spreadsheet at the end, and then he can turn that into a picture that he can post out on Facebook. So that's feature number 2, and then feature number 3 is actually we've had this, and I think that Josh will enjoy this, and we're going to finally get his team. It's a team multi-day event set up. So that's the next thing we're going to do.
Nice.
One thing that I've seen, and I don't know if this, I know you said you're just got some few ones that you're trying to do, but like I've always thought, like when I get on my phone and I get on the Tourney X app, I always thought it would be really cool, and maybe there is a way to do it where like when your dashboard or whatever shows up, it could have like a link to your club, and you can just push that, and now it's going to come up with just a list of all your MOYAC. All the tournaments that you fish for that year are going to be right there. You don't have to go in and search, put MOYAC in the search bar. It's going to have your favorites already in that link on your dashboard that you're going to be able just to pull up and pay for.
Okay.
That's a good idea. Now, that's kind of what I do with that spreadsheet, Trey. I have a spreadsheet, and I link all of the Tourney X tournaments or whoever's tournaments they are on there.
Right.
And then you can go to that's. I make my own, but it would be.
But just kind of like that individualized for your dashboard. Like these are your favorites.
Yeah.
So you've hit MOYAC as a favorite. You've hit All American as a favorite, and so on. Now it's just going to pop up on 2025 tournaments, and then a way to be able to simplify the team side of things too. I've always had a difficult, Dwayne, when it comes to the team events, like registering. Like I have a hard time remembering how to do it. And I have to always have my partner do it. But yeah, like having them 2 links. Here's your team button for all the tournaments, and then here's your regular for all your tournaments. I would just love to see like that this is your club. These are the tournaments for this year.
Yeah.
So and probably for next year, we're going to try to figure out how to rewrite to integrate the team where you can actually join teams in the app, so you don't have to go to the website and do it. I know it's kind of cumbersome, and that's on me, but it's been a hard time to figure out how to make that happen. Yeah. But we'll get it. We'll get it.
Yeah, that's cool. You're always progressing, it seems like, too. Now, there's another thing that I talked to you about this before. Of course, I love the number of fish you catch in a year thing. We do, you encourage me to do that and go nationwide with it, which has been a pretty popular thing to do. And what that does, most guys have told me it helps keep track of their bigger fish they want to see they caught during the year. And for what, $5, that's a pretty good way to keep track of them, But one other thing that we could do is, and you said you could do this, is let's say that I'm a 65-year-old guy and I just want to go out and see how many species I can catch. And so you have a list of all those species there. So is it set up so that if I catch a tarpon and I click on it, will tarpon show up in my results, or is it just so many will show up and then they're blind after that? Or will it show all the species I've caught?
You talking about now?
Yeah.
Are you talking about we don't have anything like that right now, okay. I don't think.
But I mean, you can enter. Like if I did a multi-species tournament right now. You could submit them, but it wouldn't show it on your results. It would only show the top 15 or so.
But you going to show results.
But personally, in your management, you could see them on the back.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So that would be kind of fun.
If we did like one fish each, for instance, and we had unlimited, and we just set up one fish each.
Yeah.
Different species. When the angler submits his fish, he has to choose that fish name.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then, yes, you'll see it when you go to the leaderboard and click on it in the app.
Yeah.
It's going to show all your fish down a list. Yeah,
Right.
it will.
Right. Okay.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah, and it'll show
I'm going to add that next year, Dwayne. I was going to do it this year, but I'm going to wait a year. But next year, I'm going to start.
Right now we're doing black bass. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
we're in it, and I'm going to make it so that it's Can I make it so that it's unlimited, like it's for several years, or not, or just
I don't
one
know.
year?
We'll have to look at it and see. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have to look at that and see.
I just want to give guys out there. They travel the country and they just want to see how many species they catch. You know.
Yeah, or we can put in 50. You could put in like 50 fish and let them go out and try it. That would be fun. Okay, let's do this.
To get 50.
So if you could do 25 or 30 or 50 fish, whatever, and then say, I'm going to go through and choose this many types of fish. You go out and see if you can, and if you do all of them, then you win.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
If you can find all 30 or 40 species that we choose, crappie, bluegill, bass, catfish, carp, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
If you achieve that, then you know what I'm saying.
I could get sponsorship for that from a company, like for a certain, say Hoodoo Kayak says, hey Marty, if somebody can catch 50 species and prove it, they can earn this at our, for
like
us.
Steve says, like a grand slam.
Yeah. That is a good idea, Steve. Yeah. And then so I'm just thinking that way, for species, because when I turned 50, I was trying to catch 50 species, and that dissipated pretty quick where I lived. So, but I guided a guy that traveled the country, and his goal was to catch a certain species in each state of the country, and he wrote a book on it. And what he did is he traveled all 50 states, all 50, and he caught a species in each state, a different species. Wow. And recorded it. And I guided him for a wiper, is what we did.
Wow.
And he did that. So anyway, there's just some, not only the tournament scene, you guys catching bass and so forth, but there's also challenges. Like my challenge is to catch 2025 bass in 2025. And man, there's some guys getting after it this year. They're doing good.
Oh, Jeremy Baker put the heat on you, bro. Jeremy Baker came out shooting.
Yeah, but
what's he up to now?
I'm gonna bring it up. I'll bring it up. Yeah.
What's he up to?
I think there's somebody that has 200 and now remember, some of the guys have more inches, but they don't have more fish because some guys are catching smaller ones. Let me bring it up.
2025. Where's that?
Where did it go?
Oh, where did it go?
Yet. Oh, I gotta search for it, don't I? I'll bring it up.
Dwayne, you should do a Nico only tournament.
Okay.
Like national Nico only day tournament.
You can't
do that.
Charge Marty like triple for whatever the whatever the entry fee is.
You can't prove it though. That's the only thing, Okay, so here you go. Here it is. And this is what's cool about
there it is.
Okay, so John Allen has 301, but Clayton Westgate actually has the lead with 352. He's in third on inches. So
wow.
Good. And then I'm sitting down there I actually have 170 something now. But these are some guys getting after it. Jeremy Baker's got 200, and we have a total of 108 people. That's pretty good.
That's crazy.
I
didn't realize we had that many.
Yeah, the first year we had 245, and that's because it was free. And then last year we did the $5 thing, and I think we had 145 last year. And this year we have 108 so far. Now remember, it's going to keep growing because guys haven't started fishing it up north.
Yeah, they didn't even ice yet.
Yeah.
Okay, Dwayne, I'm going to tell you a dream that I had.
What's your dream?
And it had you in it, and that's why I wanted to see your deer up there. And this is kind of weird. But it was this last winter. I had a dream that you had on Tourney X. I don't know why I did it. That you had an app that I was in my tree stand, And what I needed to do is not shoot a deer. I had to take a picture of it. And then I took that picture and I uploaded it to Tourney X, and it was like a day tournament. And like the dude with like the biggest deer on the Tourney X actually won. So it was like a deer hunting Tourney X tournament. It was actually pretty cool.
So let's go back to the kind of the beginning of Tourney X one more time.
Okay.
I actually, the X in Tourney X was not just for fish. The original X in Tourney X was for any kind of tournaments. I had originally envisioned archery of some sort.
Yeah.
Like a Bluetooth target or type of a wireless target. Like when you shoot archery and just have that.
Yeah.
Bowling, because bowling is just points, right?
Yeah.
Where you can bowl across the country against person to person, things like that.
Yeah.
Deer hunting, which deer hunting actually is based on inches and Crockett scores.
Yeah.
Turkey hunting, you can do turkey hunting, which you got length of the beard plus length of the spurs added together gives you total length.
Oh,
so there's all kinds of things we can do, but we never really got out of fishing, guys. We just never did. I actually owned a domain called Buckrax, which had the X in it for racks, and so I kind of let that domain go. Figured if I did this, I would just do it inside of Tourney X and just put different categories.
Here in Nebraska, Dwayne, let's say I had a turkey beard contest, and they could have their turkey beard. They got to put on a catch board, and they got to measure it. And
it's funny, Mark. They make a board. If you go look it up, it's a measuring board for the beard, and then you also factor in the length of the spurs.
Yeah,
that calculation together gives you.
You could do a contest for that.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat.
Just the masses. I don't think we'll get many people because there's not enough masses out there. You're not going to have that many.
Enough what? Enough what?
Enough people that are hunting. Enough, not very many people would join in.
Hey, look how kayak fishing started, man. There was only a few of us out there doing it. And
I know.
It blew up. And what's cool is to hear your story, how you came into it. And remember, for a guy like myself, now remember, there's a lot of people that we've had on, for instance, like Dennis Spike and Jim Salmons. They fish tournaments, but they're not doing like the bass tournaments, things like that, where, for me, running a tournament and then having this happen is like incredible. You see what I mean? Or some people getting in it today, they're like, oh, this has always been there. It hasn't.
Right.
But I do want to bring up this though real quick, and that is that you have a support system here. It's like a tutorial there, and it goes.
Hey everybody, this is Dwayne Walley. This will send the information to the director to let him know you've checked in, and it'll also mark your location so that in the event an emergency arises, they'll have your location and your phone number where they can try to contact you. Or
it's not showing up where?
Yeah, I see it.
Well, it's not showing up for me anyways.
It'll show up on the live deal. But for you people out there that are watching, this is a tutorial. They'll show you how to use it, and you can send somebody to do that. And then Dwayne, here, I just want you to know that a lot of people Marty likes to catch a lot of fish, so that's why he's having a catch all you can tournament. No, that's not my motive. My motive was so that guys that are getting into the sport can learn how and practice putting fish on a board and measuring them and under pressure, and then putting them back. What better practice is there than to be in a little tourney that you catch as many as you can and measure them and submit them, And so that's my main thing for that.
I've always said catching fish is the easy. Putting on that board and taking the photo, getting it submitted without losing that fish is the hard part. I don't know how many we've over the years it's gone over were good pictures.
It was funny because I was at Wanahoo and Spencer Jones was with me. We were fishing in a tournament, and I had some big bass, and I put my hand on them, and then they would just like slime rocket right off the left side. I'm like, Oh, I lost another one. I lost another one. This is the early days, you know. And then I mean, I think I could have won that tournament if I would have had my fish on the board. But that is a skill in itself. And if you do it just right, put them on there, you can get that photo taken without them making a wiggle. But if you wait too long, a lot of guys, like I watch guys, they will take like 5 to 10 minutes to measure one fish, you know? And I'm like, they go, well, I got to put it in the water and settle it down. I'm like, you know what? They don't even know they're on the board when I get done with them. It's like, boom, boom, they're done. They have no idea. They go back down and they go, what just happened? I don't know. I just saw a flash of sun and I was back in the water. That's how
I got slapped by
somebody told me to. Yeah, there's people. Yeah, Steve Billington actually has I want to say the funniest video when it comes to losing a fish. It was on Truman, and it's very funny. It's a little bit inappropriate, but you could just tell how mad he was after he lost it.
Yeah.
But I think that I wonder how many pictures. Like I go on Tourney X and I look, and I'm like, and maybe I'm giving up a little catch board juice here, but I'm seeing these dudes' thumb on the bass's butt, right? His little butt, and it's like makes them stretch out like a quarter of an inch, and I'm like, really? Is that's really a thing? And I mean, I guess it's if you look at all. Hey, I'm just telling you the facts here, man. It gets you another quarter inch.
I moved the tail fins. I moved the.
No, you got to put your finger in his butt, Marty.
I don't do that, man. I ain't going near that.
Oh, I think.
Now, I do like the ones with the big lip in the bottom. No, those are tournament fish, or the big fork tail, the one that has like the inch long portion of tail that's sticking out. Those are what called tournament fish. Tourney X.
You should have a gallery of that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Dwayne, like the craziest looking fish, like the deformed, like every month do like top picks, like your 5 top pick bass, and like the ones with the real long snout, like a muskie, like just crazy bass photos, like all time best.
Here's a comment for
Grizzly fishing axe.
Hey, yay!
Oh my gosh, we're going down a hole, Trey. Get us back out of there.
I'm sorry.
Come on.
We went from butterflies.
Get us out. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
so anyway, there has been a learning curve to it, though, Dwayne. But I think if people learn how to put their net up on the left side, things like that, you can do that. Or like Drew Gregory's boat with the Crescent Shoal, he has a built-in thing for the board down there. Now, I do want to ask you. I'm going to bring this up. There are other apps that record fish. There's iAngler. There's Fishing Chaos. A guy like me that fishes a lot of different types of tournaments, it is confusing to go back and forth because you're wired to enter them a certain way. And boy, I give calls to both because like it's all me trying to figure it out, But you're always going to have competition in whatever you do. There's always going to have, I make Nico heads. There's all kinds of Nico heads, and it's just
one thing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
One thing we strive to do is not change our app very much. We're not going to change the how it performs because muscle memory is key. I don't want you come in, in next month and go, what the heck did you do to the app? I can't find anything. I don't know where anything is. So right now it's simple. It's, as you said, you can do it in under 8 to 10 seconds, or what have you. I can catch a fish. It's really the determining factor is getting the photo of the fish. But once that's done, I can submit a fish in, like I said, in 10, 15 seconds with no problems. It's just click, 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 and it's done. I've been trying to figure out how to shave time off of that by doing, a couple of less clicks, but it's hard to do, it really is. I think this last iteration of the app has really turned out really smooth. The upload time is better than we've ever had.
Right.
So it's one of those, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? Don't mess with it. So now I just got to get some new features in that people are asking me for, and that's kind of where we're headed right now with the next the future of it.
You're looking at about 2 bars. I'm looking at about two bars. At 2 bars, I can, 2 bars at the most, 2 attempts. I'm usually in the net. And a lot of times I'm finding I have a second phone, so I have a work phone too. Hopefully nobody from my work is listening right now, but so I use my second phone to like connect to a hotspot, and it seems like it kind of doubles it up. But the one thing that really impresses me too is just recently, I was fishing a tournament that had pretty strict boundaries, state to state boundaries, and I was really concerned about Tourney X not pinging up on another, not pinging me out of bounds in another state, because I'm really threading that needle. I mean, I'm literally, not even a quarter of a mile from the state line, and it really kept me right. I mean, it kept me where I was at. So
yeah.
So we found I get some feedback from some anglers still using their camera, not the in-app camera. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you can't use both, because you can use both. It's all ended on whether your phone actually has that camera that's in your phone turned on, the location turned on.
Mm-hmm.
If it does, it's going to be fine. There's a button on this app. You click that hamburger menu and you go down to the very bottom, and it will show you where you can actually do a submit, and it's going to check your location. And if you get a thumbs up, then you're golden. Your cameras. We decided to add that in because we wanted to check their phone and make sure their pictures are good to go.
Now,
I got so many calls because people say, "Well, this doesn't do this." I said, "Well, go there and try." I'll say, "Yeah, I'm getting a thumbs up." I said, "Well, you're fine."
Okay.
I've never used the in-app camera. I've never once done it.
I don't either.
Probably should try. So you're saying you like that feature?
I like the in-app camera because if you just go join a demo tourney and you have time, take a few photos. There's actually I wish I can't share my screen, but when you click that picture's bottom right and you go snap, there's a button right below it. As soon as you hit that button, it takes you straight into submit catch. It's just that quick. Boom, go right in. So it keeps you in the app. Yeah, I don't have a video of that, but it's all in one process. You don't have to go from your camera and go find everything and come back into the app to do it. You're still in the app. And we found that the in-app camera location is actually a little bit better for some reason.
Does it save the picture in the camera as well, though? Yeah. Okay. I'll try it and see. Another thing, for 10 years,
Marty, let me say so. The old app that we had before, would not save it as well in the gallery. Okay. This one will.
Okay.
This
okay. That's probably why, because I'm used to that. Okay.
That's fine.
So for 10 years, I did not enter a tournament. I just ran them, Dwayne. I did not. I was there helping people. My kids ran them. I didn't do any. I did not compete. And the reason why I didn't compete, because I thought it was an unfair advantage for a tournament director to compete in a tournament. This was not with Tourney X. This was just before Tourney X. All right.
I get that.
All right. So I started that challenge because of your encouragement. Hey, Marty, why don't you just make this nationwide, this challenge? And so I did that. And then I got accused of Marty just wants to find everybody's waypoints across the country. And I said, well, here's the deal. Who runs that tournament, Dwayne?
I do.
Yeah, I have no access to it. And so
there's no access.
Squelched rumors about getting the million waypoints on that because I don't even have access to it. I don't do any judging or anything. So, so there you go. And the other thing is now, for instance, when I'm in a tournament and I hire a judge outside the tournament, and I want nothing to do with entering fish. Now, I've not tried, but could a tournament director fishing in the tournament gain access to where everybody's fishing?
Yes.
If they have the password.
Yes.
Okay. What if I had the judge change the password I changed the password for I give him just to make sure that you don't get blamed.
Give them access to change the password.
Yeah, he changed the password. I cannot have access. Then we change it back after so I can continue running that. And then he verifies that. That's kind of what we're doing here with mine because I don't want anybody to say, well, and it doesn't in of course in a live tournament doesn't matter, but an online one, I can see where that's why I don't offer those because I don't want to deal with that stuff,
And then what we do is 3 days later, 2 or 3 days later, I can't remember if it's 2 or 3, but we actually turn the GPS completely off.
Okay.
Where you can't see anything because we give you a little bit of grace period to make sure you can get your fish.
Okay.
Everything's accounted for and all that. So after that, though, we completely hide those GPS locations.
Yeah.
And unless something comes up in a week or 2 or 3, then I can turn it back on for you.
Yeah. Okay.
But we added that, and people were actually very receptive to that. They were glad that we turned those locations off.
That's good. So, that's a good deal there. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I know we're about an hour 21 right now. Dwayne, do you feel like you've had a chance to tell us all about your story?
Yeah, as far as it's been a heck of a ride, man. I'll be honest with you. I'm glad you asked that question, Trey, earlier about the whole would and if what I'm saying, if that rise where somebody wanted to purchase, and I'm glad you asked that question. I really do. Other than that, man, everything's good. I'm working the day job. I'm working the Attorney X gig. I still got my programs. We're still trying to get some new features taken care of. We're still just kind of progressing, So in the support, the only thing I know right now is I've been, as well as I do, this year has been really tough with all the weather conditions changing, all the rain we've been having. I hasn't been able to fish. I mean, there's a lot of cancellations, and it's tough. This year's been tough. Our participation's down.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be down everywhere, not just with us. I think it's across the board.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I only say that, Dwayne, because I don't feel like I feel like people fell in love with Tourney X, but I feel like people fell in love with you, right? I feel like they fell in love with you, as kind of the just part of everybody's fishing adventure, right? You're part of everybody's day when they go fishing. Like, but there's tournament directors, there's the other people that you compete with. But at the end of the day, when I hear the word Tourney X, I don't think of Tourney X. I think of Dwayne Walley, right? And I think that's what's really important, and that's what you bring to this application.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it's at. So seeing it go anywhere else, but just where Dwayne wants it to go, I just don't feel like it would feel right. It's just really familiar, and you make it familiar. So
and that's why. That. You bet. That's why Dwayne is part of the kayak fishing story.
When Marty said this kayak fishing story, I was like, you want me in this?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't feel like that. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel right, but I appreciate it. I really do.
No, but you are
somebody that builds the stadium that the Chiefs play in. They can't just go there and play, bro. Like you are the person that puts the turf down, homie.
Yeah,
built the stadium, dog.
I can catch a fish every now and then. Did you see that 6-pounder I caught the other day?
No,
it's nice. Nice. Yeah, we went out our local lake over the Ross Burnett Reservoir. Right now it spawns on water's 71, 72 degrees.
Ooh, wow.
And they're sitting up on the beds right now. Well, we had a lot of winds. It's probably going to be muddy, but they need to get back out there. But they're on fire right now. I mean, it's good fishing. I go up there.
My last question for you is about New Orleans, and I'll be done. So you could pick one restaurant. You're going to New Orleans. You can eat at one. I'm going to tell you mine after you tell me yours. Maybe we have the same one. What's your favorite restaurant in New Orleans?
Denny's downtown.
Denny's?
Brennan's?
Denny's.
What?
No, it's called Denny's. I have to look it up for you. It's
okay.
My wife and I. It's D. I can't tell it because I have to look it up. Here, tell me yours while I'm looking this up.
It's a toss-up between Oceana's and Brennan's. I mean, I like the Banana Fosters, but I like Oceana.
You guys are talking more language to me.
And then if you just kind of get over in the hood, man, there's some really good little just crawfish broiled just on the side of the road. I don't even know the name of it type places.
It's called Denny's. It's right down there in the French Quarter.
Let me bring it up bigger here. There, I made it big. Whoop. There it is. Okay.
Yeah, Marty don't know about no Cafe Du Monde.
I don't
No.
know. I don't know
Well,
what's in there.
So Cafe Du Monde is the wife's favorite place to go. She loves having the coffee. She loves, and that's another story. So you guys know I only live about 3 hours from New Orleans. Okay.
Wow.
So when I go down for redfish down at Fouchon or Leeville or whatever, on my way back, I scoot by and go by in Metairie, which is just like 3 miles out of the way. And I'll go over and I'll get me a big, large cup of that freaking chicory coffee. Okay. I mean, that cafe au lait. And
Yes.
I dump a whole bunch of sugar. You talk about your sweet tea. I dump
Yeah.
a whole bunch of sugar in that cafe au lait and I get it just right, bro. Hot. I mean, it's so freaking good. And
So
I
you
grab
make
me
it
some
cold?
beignets. Huh?
You make it cold?
Oh no, it's hot. No, it's
Okay.
hot.
Because I've been
Yeah.
bringing it on my last 3 fishing trips. Like, and I think the last one would know. You can ask him. I'm making it too strong. Like what you use in your normal coffee. Like I've got 3 like regular sized cans of Cafe Du Monde. See, I say Du Monde. See, I'm trying to be that way.
That's right.
Man, I just make it
Yeah,
super strong, dude.
You got the chicory coffee, right? Chicory?
Yeah, the same kind I drink. And I was in a county jail in Salt Lake City, Utah, and all they served us was chicory. So when I went to Cafe Du Monde and I seen the thing said chicory, I was like, "Hey, I know that. We had that. I was in a jail one time. They had chicory."
If you go look in her cabinet right now, she's got 6 cans in there.
Nice.
She orders it. She orders 6 to 10 cans at a time.
Huh.
And keeps it in the cabinet. It's the old style. It's the old style cans too. It's the old tin cans.
You gotta crack them open.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
So
we're gonna have a little contest.
But anyway, so I'll stop and get me some coffee, and I'll get 2 or 3 orders of beignets and bring them home to the wife, and we pop in the microwave, get home, and we have that after I go to my outing in New Orleans and down at the red fishing. So it's lots of good.
All right. So here's what Kayak Jack's Outdoors is going to do tonight, you guys. We're going to offer a prize for someone. I'm going to pay their fee for Tourney X for one tournament this next month. That's $6.50. That's a whopping $6.50. But they got to answer a question correctly. So Trey, we got to come up with a question based on what Dwayne said tonight. And the first one it answers, I will Venmo them the $6.50 to pay for their tournament. How about that? Is that a good prize? I had a good
one.
Huh?
Brad won't win because he came in late.
Oh, he might know, though. He might know.
Yeah, he might.
All right. So, Trey, you got a question or you want me to come up with one? Now,
so does it have to be? So yes, I do. I do.
Related. It's got to be Tourney.
Can somebody tell me where Dwayne Walley met the gentleman that he talked to about Tourney X that helped him get it started? Where did they meet at?
Ooh, I thought you were going to.
Oh, did I say that? Did I say where it was at, Trey? Because I don't remember. I was talking so fast.
Well, you did.
I think you said. I think you.
Oh, don't tell him.
I won't. I thought you were going to ask where he met his wife, how he met his wife. That'd be a good one.
That's even better.
Yeah.
That's easier.
Okay, here's your first answer.
Oh, Steve.
Did Steve get it?
Steve got it. It was a coffee shop.
He got it. He was listening.
Coffee shop. So, Steve Billington, I will send you $6.50. You got to tell me which tournament it's for, and then all you got to do is give Dwayne a plug for Tourney X, man. That's all you got to do.
Josh Booth is over here just throwing lakes out there. He says Kentucky Lake, Caddo Lake.
I want to check something here. Just so you know, Dwayne. Go ahead. You guys keep talking here. I got to find it here. Oh, yeah, it's on there. So if we go to Tourney X here real quick, Dwayne, I've been giving you a plug. My dashboard. How do I find standings? How do I It won't come up.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to get. It won't. I'm going to show you something, but it won't.
Dwayne, have you ever had to remove somebody's profile picture because it was an inappropriate picture?
I was going to ask that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me tell you what happened today, and I won't tell you who it happened to, but I'll tell you what happened yesterday. It's the damnedest thing.
Huh.
And I'm not going to say any names, but I'm going to tell you what happened. It's going to kind of be a little bit disgusting. So we had a guy call me yesterday, and he says, "Hey, Dwayne, I got a problem with this fisherman." And I said, "Yeah, what's that?" He said, "Well," he said, "the fisherman paid his entry fees, fished the tournament. At the end of the tournament, he went into the credit card company and put a hold on the money because that he entered the tournament with to get his money back.
You put a hole where?
He put a hold on it, put a dispute in. He wanted his money back after fishing a tournament because he didn't catch any fish, and he didn't. He says he didn't fish it, and he couldn't fish it or something. And I was like, anyway, I ended up calling the guy. I called the guy, and I told him, "Man, you can't do that." I said, just because you either A, you didn't fish, or B, you didn't catch any fish, you can't go put the hold on that money because money's paid out to the anglers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we've had that happen. We've had some weird stuff happen over the years, man. We really have. We'll tell you this, guys, don't delete your Attorney X account by mistake. And it's got a password. You put a password on it. So it's asked for a password. Because I've had people call me, "Man, I deleted my Attorney X account. Can you get it back?" Well, the answer is no.
No. Oh, wow. That's a good point.
Start over.
Okay.
So be careful on that.
Let's see if this comes up. Nope. I got to get a different fish.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Dwayne. After Saturday, you're going to have to change my first place finishes, not to 1. You're going to make it 2, baby.
Well, what's up?
You're going to make it 2.
You're going down. They're going down, huh?
It's going down.
Fishing.
Huh. Well, anyway.
Where are you?
Palm de Terre. Are you coming back to the 250?
I think I am. Yep.
That's a yes. Lock it in.
Lock it in. I'll try to be there, bro. I really will. I would love to come over. I didn't realize April 12th was the one over at Lake Fork, but can't get there that early. I don't think I can make that one. But
here it is.
Well, we got the Ellie Bowman tournament too on Table Rock in May, which is going to be a really, really cool one. Steve Billington, who's on here right now, actually has customized identifiers that Josh Booth, they collabed on it. So that's going to be a really cool event, dude.
Yeah, I just brought one up. That's what I was doing as I'm bringing one up, and we'll get done here. You guys see that little card there?
Yeah.
On the board. Actually, Dwayne, I've got Attorney X on my card as well for you there. So it's on the on that little identifier card. So Steve Bones is doing a good job with that, where you can put your sponsors on there and stuff. And
nice.
So that's going to be pretty cool for everybody. And
yeah, I think he said. I think you talked to him one time, Dwayne. You said you liked his identifiers, and the first thing he messaged back to the chat was, "Man, you're not going to believe I got to talk to Dwayne Walley." Like he felt like he was talking to a movie star, bro.
Stop!
I'm serious.
Yeah. Oh, say here's the deal. When we go back to the Eco 250, Dwayne has to get a seat around the table with us next time.
You got to give Steve Billington a signature. He wants your signature. You got to send him a hat or something, bro. He's like a Dwayne Walley fanboy. I think he's got your poster. He's got your poster in his garage.
Would you hush, Trey?
He got 30X boxers.
That's awesome. All right.
I did. He said I did.
Yeah.
Oh man, bring him and I'll sign him.
Well,
I did have to give my signature one time to one person, and it was the darndest thing. It was at one of the KBF tournaments. Crazy. But I've got a buddy of mine wants to come to the Eco because after last year he didn't come, and he says I really want to go this year, so we might make a trip up together.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. That one.
Yeah, I want to fish it again.
So anyway, well, we're thankful and grateful for you doing what all you do. I'm serious, and that's why we wanted to have you on and do this. And we may not have a lot of people on here tonight, but these get like thousands of views as they're because this will be on Spotify, all the podcast stations once we record it, and so
Nice.
people can reference it, and hear your story, and then hopefully someday somebody writes a book on the kayak fishing story,
Yeah.
So we'll
I
see.
thought you were going to write the book.
I'm going to try. My problem is I fish too much. And the other thing though, Dwayne, is I started writing these articles, and now I've got other people contacting me about other articles. So I'm booked up. I'm booked up forever.
You're busy. You're
Yeah.
busy, man.
And I will tell you, the top baits has been a big hit. That's been a big hit. Yeah. It's great to get the angler some exposure. At the same time, people that aren't as experienced can go and look at that article and go, oh, that's what they did, because when the tournament's over, they ask, oh, what'd you win them on? And I used a chatterbait, but this is more in depth, and it gives a picture of what they did, the name brand. You can go look it up and see what they did, and then sometimes you can reach out to the angler; they'll even help you that way, and do it that way. So.
Nice.
It's been a big hit, and we're doing them for the Kayak Adventure Series now as well. So,
yeah, that's a big deal. That Kayak Adventure Series is doing well. I'm proud of Drew.
Yeah, that thing was fun. That was so fun to do that.
I was gonna spin by there coming from I wasn't gonna fish it. I was just gonna spin by. If it had been on Saturday and we didn't have all the other stuff and I'd been in the area, I would have done it. But leaving Sunday and coming home, it was tough.
And it's a little more laid back. It's a little more laid back. It's like, it's not intense. I mean, it's competition, but there's so many different things going on,
Yeah. But actually, even the eco tournament is kind of laid back too.
Yeah.
It's just a fun event.
Yeah.
That you could come, chill out at, and visit, catch fish. Great. Catch a fish is fine too. You have a chance at winning some great prizes. Those guys have got it going on up there, man. They really do.
Yep.
So,
yep, they do.
But save 2 seats at the table for me and my buddy. Maybe we'll be there.
Okay, you bet. Remember that, Trey? What's the name of that restaurant we ate at, Trey?
Man, you put me on the spot, bro.
They got good food there, man. I ate there twice.
Not the Mexican restaurant, huh? Where was it? You talking about where we ate?
No, we had chicken fried steak with gravy on it, man. That was awesome.
Oh, really? Where was that?
We got to bring this up too. The All-American Kayak Classic is coming up in May. We got to remember that.
Chances are.
Chances are. But the All-American
Classic, the place?
It's a place, yeah. Chances are is a restaurant, and it's like it. I mean, it's a classic. Joshua Booth.
Steve Billington just messaged me and said that Dwayne, you can launch. He's going to put you on fish. If you come to Lake of the Ozarks, Steve Billington is going to be your personal chauffeur, and you're going to launch with him.
There you go.
And I actually got a place for you to stay.
Wow. There you go.
So you said that?
Steve Billington.
Yeah.
But I have the place for you.
Oh, where are we staying? With you?
Yeah, just get a hold of me.
Okay.
So you got to launch with Steve. You can't launch with me. I got the $10,000 fish on my spot.
I'm sure you do.
Sure you do.
Oh, I don't know where they are. I don't. What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I want to finish Joshua Booth, the All-American Classic. That's where all these clubs come in. That's a big one too. That's a nice one. And
where's that going to get?
That'll be at Truman Lake. That's at Truman Lake. Okay. And we should get over 200, I think, in that one. There. So, but I can't wait for that. I'm going to go to Dale Hollow and drive across and then camp. I'm camping at Truman Lake. Got a campsite there.
Oh, he doesn't have it turned. He doesn't have it built yet. For All American.
Not on yet. It's not on yet. I think it's
up. They're going through the.
It's up.
He's got 5. He's got 5 of the AAKSs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or the one is Texas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Wisconsin.
That's the All American Trail. The Classic is separate. It's a whole different deal. The Classic is.
I thought you put it. Okay.
It should be on there though. I'm pretty sure it's on there because I think I saw it with entries.
Oh, there it is. I found it.
Okay.
What, Missouri? Yeah.
So anyway,
Nice.
okay. Well, let's finish up. Message me what? Message me. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we are. I don't know. I'm in Truman State Park. I don't know the number, but anyway.
No, Steve, you ain't putting Marty over there by us, bro. He needs to go way down the river or something, bro. He ain't gonna be over there catching our fish, man. Come on, Steve, you're doing too much right now, bro.
Remember, Trey, the Nico rig by a Japanese guy that invented it back decades ago. The guy that invented the Nico rig said, "This is the lure that catches fish like a vacuum cleaner." Really, that's what it was.
And that Easton Fothergill, he had to put it out there. The Classic now. Nico, I've had like 10 of my buddies hit me up this week, like bass boat guys, be like, man, showing me this 6.5. Like they're on the Nico right now, man. I'm like, man, Easton had to do that. He had to catch that 8-pounder with an hour left on a Nico. And I'm like, man.
If he'd have had Kayak Jack's Nico heads, he could have done even better.
I tell you, I got that hook. I just got that hook. I got 4 packs of them from Backlash in Japan. Yeah. So I got the 1/0 and the 2/0 of that Talisman.
Yeah. Guess what?
They're going to make me catch fish better. It's proven. It's math. It's just.
I don't think I got time, but I'd run upstairs. I got them too, Trey, but I've already had them.
You ain't got them. He's going. He's going to get them.
He just exited left, didn't he?
You went to get them. You went to get them.
He ain't right.
He ain't had them. He just got them too.
Oh, I've had them.
We know what hook you use. He actually uses the
second every kind of hook, man.
Oh, he got them too. That's that 2. Marty actually uses. I will give him this. He does use the second best Nico hook on the market. It is the best. It is the second best Nico hook. But it's a good one.
No, it's the best. And I also have the best sleeve.
Yes.
Yes. And then we named them. We have named the sleeve, Dwayne. It's called the Snyder. It's called the Snyder sleeve.
The Snyder sleeve.
Yes, Russ Snyder. Here it is right here. Steve Billington will tell you. Russ Snyder, we met in a parking lot one time, and he goes, "Hey, Marty, I figured out a way to keep the worm on better." I go, "Really?" Because I was doing all these different things, and he found some black heat shrink you could buy at Ace Hardware. And so I tried it, and it worked. They rip a little bit, but then I'd use silicone, and silicone melts TRDs. So I just kept progressing and finding stuff. Finally, I found a company that could make me a heat shrink to 2-to-1 ratio with a different kind of a compound, plastic, whatever, and it didn't melt the TRD, and it's very, very durable. And so guys are using it now. And so I said, Russ, you're the one that gave me the idea, so I'm calling it the Snyder sleeve.
Nice.
So it's called the Snyder sleeve.
That's the one you let me have. You gave me some last year, didn't you? Same one?
Those are different. These are better now.
Oh.
These are better. I'll get you some.
I'll get those too.
Yeah, you'll get some. they are the bomb. And
Wayne, what's your number one confident bait? You're picking one bait. Yeah. You can only pick one bait. What are you taking?
I'm a plastics guy. I generally throw Texas rig everything. Okay, I don't. Of course, where we're at, Nico does not work the greatest. It just doesn't. It's hard to fish that in the grass and the stuff we have here. But just even right now, I went out the other day and I pulled out I just drew a blank like you did earlier. The curve, and I can't think of the color right now. But it was just 2 blanks.
Huh.
Just a ribbon tail, 8-inch, 10-inch worm, big worms. And I was throwing that bed here, and man, they're just chomping. They're just eating right now. And they're in like 8 inches of water, 10 inches of water right now. Right, these pockets, they're not even a point. They're just anywhere there's a little bit of a pocket. They're sitting in those pockets, and I just pitch up in there. And if you just let it sit there and just kind of dead stick it, you'll just feel them just pop it or pick it up. Or they'll pick it up and move it. And I've really enjoyed fishing the past couple, 3 or 4 days. But I tend to go. I have to slow myself down. If I go out and start fishing, chatterbait, things like that, I have a hard time to slow myself back down, if that makes sense. But I find that my go-to is people go, man, how do you sit there and just do that? I just love it. I like to pitch a worm or pitch a crawl or something, you know what I'm saying, and just dead stick, just feel. I just love that feel, that bite. That's just me. I'm just
that's my favorite too. And I found that the more that I just don't work the plastic, like the Nico or whatever, when I just let it just sit, I'll either pick up and it's loaded up already, or that tick will come, 6, 7, 8 seconds after just letting it do nothing. Like a lot of times I let the ripples just completely stop before I even bring my rod tip up.
Gotcha.
I'm going to tell Jennifer, if you put the clear Snyder sleeve on your Yum Dingers, you won't go through a whole bag in a day. You'll go through maybe just 2 or 3.
Facts.
I'll give you some, Jennifer. Next time I see you, I'll give you some. All right, we got to get going here, guys. I got to go guide in the morning at 5.
I got to go to work, regular job.
I got to go fish.
It is my hey, Dwayne, I am working tomorrow. I'm guiding. It's work.
I know. I get it. You're working.
Marty's doing jerkbait classes tomorrow.
Jerkbait class tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. How many people you
guys
got?
Want to know real quick? Funny story. How green I am. Yeah. I've been throwing my jerkbait on a 6-8 medium heavy extra fast for like the last 7 months. I thought that was the jerkbait rod, right? No, Trey. You need a 6. So we got a 6-8 medium extra fast. So I was throwing my popper and my jerkbait on this 6-8 medium heavy extra fast, and I was wondering why I just couldn't keep a fish tied up.
Right.
And
yeah.
I have a secret. Telling on that. So
it's funny about fishing rods. I'm testing out some rods from different parts of the country, and they'll call them medium heavies or whatever, but when they really get here, it's kind of a medium to us. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess it's just different regions where these rods come from or where they're made.
Right.
I got a hodgepodge of rods out there in my truck right now. I've got about 12 or 13 rods rigged up, ready to go, and I'm just trying to find that one. That I got some years ago from a company out of Texas. They're Impulse rods. I don't know if you ever heard of Impulse or not.
Oh yeah,
Jared Fosno fishes Impulse, I believe. Yeah.
So they used to work
Halo. My bad, Halo.
They used to work for Kistler years ago, and I think they broke off and did their own thing. But he had sent me about 9 rods back in the day. This is about 9 years ago, and I still have all those rods. And I was out there fishing yesterday, and I got a baits reel the other day from Kevin Nakata and those guys. And I got a little hundo. It's a little 100 it is, and that's a 5-ounce reel on that rod that I've got. And man, that thing just bounces perfect. It felt great. I was running like a 20-pound braid with a 16-pound fluorocarbon leader with that, and man, it's just phenomenal. The hook sets, everything just was great. It was a 7-foot. It's a 7-foot medium fast, but the medium that they sent me is a true medium to me. You know what I'm saying? It's got a lot of backbone in it, but it's a fast tip. So I really enjoy that rod. So,
all right.
Anyway.
Okay. Well,
hope I'll be out there tomorrow evening.
We still have an hour and 10 minutes left if you want to keep going.
No,
I'm done.
No. Go get some sleep.
Yeah. All right.
We've
had a good time, and we're going to get some music before we go here. But thank you guys for being on. Out.